Hello students, let us begin the second unit of this module, which is about research variables, which is very crucial in any research. Let me first define what is variable. Variables are key to quantitative research in all subjects ranging from biology to chemistry to education to sociology and psychology to computer science and including communication research. In the field of communication, variables constantly figure irrespective of the type of research, be it experimental research or exploratory research and also in explanatory research. Generally, researchers treat all concepts and constructs as variables. In other words, all concepts and constructs that can be measured are called variables. According to a very renowned scholar, Kerlinger, author of Foundation of Behavioral Research, a variable is a property that takes on different values. A variable is something that varies. A variable is a symbol to which numerals or values are attached. Two distinguishing features of variable is that they vary and are measurable. For examples, the variable of sex, age, weight, which have inbuilt variations in them. Other abstract variables such as attitudes of individuals and the credibility of individuals, newspapers, television, news channels are also measurable. So scholars classify variables based on different criteria. Three such criteria are quality and quantity features of variable, causal relationship between variables, and study design. Let's first discuss variables based on quality and quantity features. Qualitative or categorical variables are those that can only be categorized on the basis of their property, which cannot be measured. For example, individual sex, political affiliation, and religion are few examples of qualitative variables. Categorical variables are further classified under two subcategories: dichotomous variables and polytomous variables. The variables that have only two attributes are called dichotomous variables or binary variables. Sex is a dichotomous variable as it has two facets, male and female. Polytomous variables are those variables which can be grouped under more than two categories. For example, religion. Quantitative variables. Quantitative variables are those variables which are measured quantitatively and thereby they can be ordered based on their magnitude. There are two types of quantitative variables: continuous and discrete variables. A continuous variable is defined as a variable which takes any value, including fractions, and can be meaningfully broken into smaller subsections. Take the example: age, monthly income, and time spent watching television. A discrete variable takes a fixed set of value. The fixed set of values of discrete variables cannot be divided into subparts. For example, the number of members in a family. Now, classification based on causal relationship between variables. These variables are interrelated directly or indirectly and mainly used in experimental studies. There are four types of such variables: independent variable, dependent variables, intervening variables, and extraneous variables. An independent variable is a property of people, event, and things which exist by itself without relying on anything else. In other words, an independent variable is not dependent upon something else for its existence, and its manipulation brings a change in certain other variables. While a dependent variable is defined as a variable which changes because of a change in the independent variable. There are some variables which intervene between independent and dependent variables are called intervening variables. The unaccounted variables in a study which may affect the change in a dependent variable are known as extraneous variable, which we may not have thought about, but which can always, affect the result on dependent variable. Variables based on study design. In controlled experiment, researchers manipulate one variable and measures the effect of manipulation on other variable, while keeping all other variables under control. Based on study design, there are two types of variables: active variables, another is attribute variables. An independent variable that is manipulated to gauge the effects on other variables is an active variable. Such variables are also called experimental variables. Variables which are not manipulated are called attribute variables, but are measured to evaluate the effects of the active variables. Such variables are called attribute variables because they reflect the attributes or characteristics of the study population. So we have come to the end of the second unit, where we have discussed the definition and classification of variables based on the quality and quantity attributes, causal relationship, and the study design. The variables are measured at different levels, which ranges from the lowest level to the highest level of measurement. The third unit of this module describes the level of measurement, and we will discuss in next. Thank you.